Hi and welcome back to Thermo Generator. I'm really happy to continue my introduction today of the TM6 and its capabilities. But today what we're going to do is we're going to focus on Cookidoo, the digital recipe platform. When you have a look at the screen, we're back at the home screen here, and I swipe right, it takes us to our digital recipe platform. And here we can search for over 2,500 recipes, and that number is constantly growing. But let's just press on that word recipes and bring up collections. Collections are a number of recipes on a single theme. So it may have been a hard copy book that has been digitalized with maybe 180 recipes in that collection, or it could be a tiny little collection of maybe, let's say, 8 to 10 recipes or 8 to 12 recipes. There are all sorts of collections. One of my favorites obviously is cocktails. Anyone who knows me well would know that. We've got whole food cooking, focus on cheese, flavors of India, lunchbox ideas, vegetarian cooking, smoothie bowls. There's 113 different collections. We can save collections holus bolus in our Thermomix, or we can simply select 1 or 2 recipes from a collection and just save a recipe if we want to. So I'm very, very proud to say that the Australian Thermomix recipe development team are absolutely sensational and are constantly bringing out new recipes and new collections for us to use with our TM6. So when we search using the search screen, we can type, if we know the recipe that we want, we can type it in here, or we can apply filters as we search. This is a real time saver, because if you know that you want to search for soups or pasta dishes or breakfast dishes, baby food, dips and sauces, you can actually select the category, and that will narrow your search down rather than you scrolling through 2,500 recipes. We can narrow the search down even more by adding other filters. You might have some zucchini and tomato in your fridge that you want to use up, so perhaps you've selected soups and you want zucchini and tomato in it, and that's going to narrow the search down even more. And then we can say that, but I need it on the table within 30 minutes. So the total time is going to be a 30-minute cook, but I want it to feed 8 people. So what you're actually doing is narrowing your search right down so that to your specific needs. Something that I also love is that we can broaden our search if we want to. We can search other countries' recipe platforms as well. And we've got the ability, there we go, we've got the ability to search any country that we are literate in their language. So for me, I can search the Canadian recipe platform, the United Kingdom, United States and Australia, because all of those recipes are going to be in English. So for today's purpose, I'm going to pretend that I know exactly the recipe that I want to look up. So I'm going to type it in my search bar here, and it's going to be porridge. Porridge, here we go, and I want that recipe, and it's going to come up. Here it is, the porridge recipe. Now, whenever we look at a recipe, there's always these 3 little dots here, and these 3 little dots give us the option of how to act on that recipe right now. And when I am using the TM6 screen, I've got 3 ways that I can use that recipe. I can actually file it into my menu plan for later today. I can create a bookmark for it, which I've already done, obviously. And I can also add my ingredients to a shopping list if I know that I'm going to cook that later today and need to go shopping for those things. However, if I want to just cook it straight away, I press on the picture and it brings up the porridge recipe for me, and I can just start cooking. And it says, place 160 grams of rolled oats into the bowl. Let's pretend I've done that. You can see that the scale has automatically come up because it's been digitalized and it knows that we need to weigh something in. And I press next. Then I add my 480 grams of full cream milk. Once again, the scale is there for me to measure that milk into the bowl. 380 grams of water, press next. A pinch of salt and put the lid on. Then you'll notice that the time has been digitally set for 11 minutes. It has preset the temperature that we need to cook at, and it is asking us to take it round to speed 2. It has also digitally put the blade into reverse so that we're not chopping up the contents of the bowl. We've still got that lovely texture of the oats in the end result. Then it says to serve immediately with your topping of choice and finish. So it's as easy as that. Let me let you in on a little secret. This is the reason why the TM6 has gone gangbusters. Being able to browse on the actual machine for a digital recipe and then be led through step by step by step means that anyone, if you can read, you can do it. Now, whilst we can access Cookidoo on our TM6 screen, we've got more options when we access Cookidoo on our PC or our phone or iPad. And did I tell you that we have an app? So I'm able to just use this shortcut to get me straight into Cookidoo, like so. And this is the home screen, which is now very familiar to you because we've already had a little look at that on the TM6 screen, and I'm able to go searching. You'll notice that the filters are here, and I've already shown you how we can use the filters. So I'm going to just do a search of a recipe rather than a collection, and I'm going to type in risotto. I'll bring up. And look at all these risottos that have come up, heaps and heaps of them. And I know that the pumpkin risotto with bacon is absolutely delicious. So I'm going to first of all just pretend I'm you and I don't know anything about this recipe. I can have a look at it and say, I love the sound of all those ingredients. And yes, I've got everything available. So that's a ripper for me to actually do. So I can press on Cook Today and it's going to file it in my menu plan for today, or I can say add, and I can add to my week if I want to, but because I'm going to make it not today, I'm going to make it tomorrow on the 28th and save. Or I can add it, and I might want to add it to a collection. And this is where it's absolutely fantastic because I'm able to create my own collections using this. It's like your own filing cabinet for your recipes. And you can call each file whatever you like that's meaningful to you. So I'm going to create a collection called risottos. And I'm saving it. And my recipe for this particular one has been saved in that collection. So that when I go into my recipes, you're going to see that my recipe for the risotto has come up in my risotto file. We are able to create a whole personal filing cabinet of recipes. And we can name each file whatever we like. So it could be ice creams, it could be sauces, it could be nibbles. I've got 2 recipes in there. It could be, let's have a look, spreads and sauces. So that when I go browsing, I can just add recipes to my files, to the particular files that I want them stored in. Then they're right there at my fingertips for whenever I want to cook them. So let's practice looking for one more recipe. So we press on the on the little magnifying glass, and I know that I want to make Anzacs on Sunday, so Anzac biscuits, so I'm just going to search Anzac. Here we go, Anzac biscuits. Press on Anzac biscuits. Oh, and there's loads of choices here. I know that this is the recipe that I want to make, so I press on the 3 little dots and I'm asking it to add it to my week because I know I'm not doing it today or tomorrow. I want to actually cook them on Sunday and save. So now when I go up to the top, we can see that that's where we can go and explore. My recipes is all about my filing cabinet and the recipe collections that I've created, and also my week. So now when I press on my week, we can see that on Saturday the 28th of March, I've planned to make the pumpkin risotto with bacon, and on Sunday, I've planned to make Anzac biscuits. Now I need to go shopping. So I am wanting to press on here, and I want to add the ingredients list of the pumpkin risotto to a shopping list. I also want to check that I have everything I need for my Anzac biscuits. So I can just add to shopping list. And when I go back here to my week, you can see that the shopping list is up here, and now I can show ingredients. And it's showing the ingredients by recipes, and there are 2 recipes in this list. Now it's up to me to just edit my list. So I go through and I say, yes, I've got bicarb soda, I've got some desiccated coconut, and I make my own brown sugar, so I don't need that. All right, I've got dry white wine, and I've certainly got water, but I do need arborio rice, so I'm going to leave that on the list. I know that I've got plain flour, but I need some rolled oats. I need some bacon, and I need butter. I've got Parmesan cheese, and so on and so forth. But if you have a look at this has all been listed in category order of the supermarket for you. So it really is essentially taking you down the aisles that you need to go. You don't need to go to any other aisles except for the ones that are listed on your list, which is great. Down the bottom here, we can add additional items for e.g. milk, bread, whatever. And if we've made a mistake and we haven't got bicarb soda, after all, we can tick that and put that back onto our list. Up here we have options of what we can do with this list. We can share it. So we can copy it and then send it in a message or an email to our loved one and say, darling, can you pick these things up on your way home? Or we can print it. And after we're finished with that list, we can clear it, making it a clean slate for a new shopping list. So I want you to imagine that you've just pulled up outside your supermarket. You fish out your phone and you press on your Cookidoo icon on your phone and you press My Week. And in My Week, you're going to find that there's an option for you to press on shopping list, and it'll bring up everything that you've got on your shopping list, and as you are walking down the aisles and collecting your bits and pieces, you can tick them off as you get them. Sensational. So now we're back at the TM6 and we're looking at the home screen, and up in the top left hand corner of the home screen you can see these 3 horizontal lines. When I press on that, it brings up things that are all about you. So my recipes, and in here we can look at created collections, and you're going to see this is my filing cabinet that we looked at before on my iPad, and you are also going to see that there is a file called risottos, and that's the exact one that I created before with you on my iPad. If I go back home and I press on here again and I go to my week, you can see that my 2 recipes that I have planned to make over the weekend are there. They're there at my fingertips, ready for me just to press on them and digitally be guided through each one. I hope you've really enjoyed my introduction to the Cookidoo platform. And I'd like to invite you to take a look at some of the other videos that I have put on the Thermo Generator YouTube channel, so that you can get further information and inspiration regarding the TM6. Please feel free to also follow and like my Thermo Generator page on Facebook. I'll be happy to have new likes, new followers, and happy to help at any time.